What will happen when the Rams butt heads with the Eagles? Find out next on Quiz Kids.
It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another round of Quiz Kids. We have two great teams back to play against each other. Over here, we have the Harker Eagles. And also returning are the Westmore Rams. Welcome back, teams. We're going to start right away with our first three-for-all. The questions are worth 5, 10, and 25 points. I'll ask a toss-up question, see who controls each round. Good luck to both teams. Here's the first toss-up. One of these items was used to kill Louis XVI in 1793. Yes, Anand.
A guillotine?
Right. During the Reign of Terror, enemies of the Revolution were sent to the guillotine by what incorruptible leader of the Committee of Public Safety? You don't have to do that.
Robespierre.
Robespierre.
Robespierre, right. In 1794, Robespierre himself was guillotined as part of what reaction against the Reign of Terror, named for a summer month of the revolutionary calendar?
Thermidorian.
You got it for 25 points. The Pact of Steel and Tripartite Pact established what World War II alliance between Italy, Japan, and Germany, known Emil?
Axis?
Yes. Prussia and her allies primarily fought against what country during the wars of the 1st, 4th, 6th, and 7th coalitions?
Germany.
It was France. In the 7th century, Namri Songtsen conquered the clans around Lhasa. This created what empire based in a region currently, yes, Max?
Tibetan.
Right. Jayavarman II founded this empire, later ruled from the city of Angkor. Its name was also given to the Red regime which governed Cambodia in the 1970s.
Khmer.
Yes. This caliphate centered on Baghdad reached its greatest extent around 850. Its last ruler, Al-Mustasim, was killed in 1258.
Abbasid.
You got 25 points. Bear Paw Mountain was the site where this man surrendered. What Nez Perce chief's 1877? Yes, Tommy.
Joseph.
Right. What Sauk leader lost the 1832 Battle of Bad Axe in southern Wisconsin?
Geronimo.
No, it was Black Hawk. The particles denoted by E plus and P bar, yes, Anand.
Positrons?
No. The particles that denoted by E plus and P bar will annihilate a standard electron or proton should they meet. Give the general name for particles like E plus or P bar. You can talk it over.
Subatomic particles. Subatomic particles?
No, antiparticles or antimatter. Her reign saw the repeal of the Corn Laws, and her husband was Prince Albert. Name this Evan.
Queen Victoria.
Victoria's reign saw the emergence of which political party which has supplied prime ministers such as Lord Stanley, Margaret Thatcher, and John Major?
Conservative.
Which conservative leader, a Jewish rival of William Gladstone, gave Victoria the title Empress of India?
Israeli.
You got 25 points. A violation of the Butler Act led to what 1925 Tennessee court case in which a high school science teacher was convicted? Yes, Tommy.
Scopes trial.
Yes. What 1955 play by Jerome Lawrence and Robert Edwin Leese dramatized the Scopes monkey trial? Its title is, according to the Bible, What Will Happen to a Man Who Troubleth His Own House?
No answer.
He will inherit the wind. This story opens with one character crying because she only has $1.87. Name the story in which Della and James exchange... Yes, Tommy.
The Gift of the Magi.
Right. The Gift of the Magi is part of which author's short story collection, The 4 Million?
Oh, Henry. Is the author right? Oh, Henry?
Right. In this O. Henry story, Bill Driscoll and Sam Howard kidnap the son of Ebenezer Dorset. The victim terrorizes them so much that the criminals pay $250 to be rid of him.
The Little Red Chief. The Little Red Chief. The Little Red Chief.
Is the ransom of Red Chief. Close. Without their presence in the atmosphere, Earth's surface would be cooler by about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Water vapor and carbon dioxide are examples of Anant.
Greenhouse gases.
A more potent greenhouse gas than CO2 is which simplest alkane discovered by Alessandro Volta in Swamp Gas?
Methane.
Which haloalkanes, even more potent than methane, have been used in fire extinguishers and refrigerators but are being phased out because of the damage they cause to the ozone layer?
CFCs.
You got it for 25 points. This man named Victoria Falls after he was forced out of Kolobeng by a drought. Name this Scottish missionary and explorer who was greeted by a fellow European with the question, I presume, Evan.
Livingstone.
Yes. Livingstone was met in Central Africa by what journalist who traveled overland from Zanzibar and later led an expedition to rescue Emin Pasha?
No answer.
Well, that was Mr. Stanley.
Oh.
Henry Morton Stanley. Chinese consumption of this fuel source has more than doubled since 1990 and now accounts for the majority of use worldwide. Name this solid fossil fuel obtained from mines. Yes, Anant.
Coal.
Only 2 of 31 coal miners survived the 2010 explosion at the Upper Big Branch mine in what U.S. state?
I think it was West Virginia. West Virginia?
Right. Which highest quality form of coal, denser than bituminous coal, is rapidly being depleted?
Anthracite.
You got 25 points, and we'll be right back.
And now it's time to meet the Quiz Kids. Once again, here's Brad.
We are back, and we're going to chat with the Westmore Rams and Clarissa Chan. You play my favorite musical instrument, the cello. You've been playing since 3rd grade, and you were explaining the sizes of cellos because I was trying to imagine a little 3rd grade girl with a giant cello in her arms. But you graduate sizes, right?
Yeah, you get the quarter size when you're little, and then you move up to half, then the 3/4 size, and then you can get a full one.
And soon you'll buy your own cello and have it for life, huh?
Yeah.
Do you name your cello?
No, probably not.
Okay, good idea. You could call it cello.
Yeah.
Emil, that wasn't funny at all. Emiliano, you are a film buff and you love foreign films, so I asked you to recommend one of your favorite foreign films to the general public. So what would you advise everyone to see?
One of my favorite French films is Le Berger Espagnol, The Spanish Apartment.
And why do you like that film?
It's about this, it's an apartment in Barcelona that's shared by a group of study abroad students.
Well, that sounds perfect.
Yes.
Awkward silence, which happens a lot in films because we're reading them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Everyone should see the Spanish Apartment. Good. Tommy Ng. Tommy, I love it. You played badminton, and of course, many people get nicknames because of their hardcore status as an athlete, and you are known as the vicious poodle of badminton. So would you explain why you got that moniker, that tough moniker?
I may not look like very vicious or like.
You don't look like a poodle.
I'm not really that.
Your hair's all wrong. I mean, come on.
That tall, but if I get the chance, I'll smash it in your face.
Having grown up with poodles, I'll tell you there's all kinds of wrong in that. But good luck to you in this next round. You can maybe catch up with Harker or get closer to them by earning up to 100 points. I have 3 categories here and 7 10-point questions in each category. Give me all the correct answers in your category. I'll throw in a 30-point bonus. Today's categories are barbershop. Could there be 7 questions about hair? Delta Blues and doctor's office.
Doctor's office.
Doctor's office. These are medical abbreviations. I will give you an abbreviation, a letter or letters, and you tell me what words are represented by those abbreviated letters, okay? The N in RN.
Nurse.
Right. The A in AIDS.
Acquired.
Right. The R in MRI. You can talk it over.
Radioactive.
Radioactive.
No, it's resonance, a magnetic resonance imaging. Right. The T in DPT, vaccine.
Tap.
Typhus.
Tetanus is right. The D in LDL, which is in the context of cholesterol. The D in LDL.
Density.
Defer.
Density?
Right. The M in MI in the context of a heart attack.
No answer.
A myocardial infarction. Myocardial. And finally, the S in ALS.
Syndrome.
No, it's sclerosis. Okay? But you got, I believe, 50 points? 40, 50 points? Something like that? Good. Congratulations. And now let's soar with the Eagles, which sounds like a great 80s song, doesn't it? Soar with the Eagles. And Ananth Subramaniam. Subramaniam, right. I'm sorry. I'm here. You're doing some really great tutoring right now. And how is that? Where did you get involved with the tutoring?
Yeah, I tutor as a part of our school's National Honor Society at a school in East San Jose called Kip Hartwood.
How old are the kids you tutor?
Mainly 5th and 6th graders.
Mostly like math, science, or any also?
Math or English also.
Okay, good. Good. Well, good for you contributing to the community. Excellent.
As long as we help Kip keep the kids moving forward. Kip, keep.
Is that a slogan? All right. That's excellent. Max Eisenberg, you took a trip recently to the Reagan Presidential Library to do some research on nuclear submarines.
Yep.
I don't even know where that connection comes from, but you were pretty impressed with that place, huh?
Yeah, so I was in their archive room, and they brought me a lot of primary documents, so it was like handwritten notes from the National Security Council meetings.
Wow.
And I got to see basically what the administration was thinking with their nuclear strategy during the 80s.
Is this something that the general public really wants to know?
I think it's very fascinating. It's just that a lot of the information is still classified. So.
Good. And they gave it to a high school student.
Apparently.
Excellent. Wow. I'm scared. Evan Yao, you play for your orchestra. What do you play?
The flute.
Flute. And you recently took a tour of London.
Yeah, it was really nice. We got to go see a lot of famous museums, and we got to see the Tower of London. And
Where did you?
we got to play at the New Year's Parade, actually. It was really fun.
Wow.
We also played in the same theater as the Royal Phil, so it was really exciting.
Excellent. Good job. All right, you guys, let's see what you can do with the next categories. Would you like barbershop or Delta Blues?
I think Delta Blues.
Delta Blues. Name these things associated with Louisiana.
Okay.
This terrible hurricane devastated New Orleans in 2005.
Katrina.
It's not New Orleans, but this other city that's the state capital.
Baton Rouge.
Complete with rice and shrimp and crawdads. It's the seafood stew that's practically a chowder.
Gumbo.
Instead of counties, Louisiana has these internal divisions.
Parishes.
The unnecessary Battle of New Orleans was a victory for this future president.
Jackson.
This bird gives Louisiana its official state nickname.
Pelican. I think Pelican. Pelican.
And you're having problems with this category? Why is that? Finally, this Republican governor of Louisiana is sometimes mentioned for higher office.
Jindal.
You got all 7 correct for 100 points. Congratulations. We'll be right back with more Quiz Kids.
And now we're back with the second half of Quiz Kids. Take it away, Brad.
Let's give a big round of applause to the coaches for both teams. First from Harker, Mr. Bradley Stoll. And then the man who coaches the Vicious Poodle, Mr. Alan Bronstein, who has brought along the alternates for the team, Brandon Wynn and Dospal Abiek. All right, it's time to get the coach out of there. It's time to play the second 3-for-all. The point values are doubled, 10, 25, and 50 points. 230 to 65. Westmore is just gnashing at the bit to catch up. Here's your first toss-up. If a physical system is neither accelerating nor changing its rate of rotation, it is said to be in the mechanical form of this, yes, Ananth.
Equilibrium?
Right. That constant rotation rate also requires that what vector sum of this rotational analog of force is 0?
A moment. No. Torque. Yeah, I think torque. Torque?
Right. Which term specifies an equilibrium state in which the potential energy is at a local minimum rather than a local maximum?
Stable.
Stable.
You got 50 points. Bjorn Utzon designed the iconic opera house in what most populous... Yes, Anant.
Sydney.
Walter Burley Griffin designed what capital of Australia that has its own autonomous region, the Australian Capital Territory?
Canberra.
Douglas MacArthur's World War II headquarters was in what capital of Queensland?
Darwin? Maybe? Darwin?
Brisbane. Along with its 2 sequels, it follows the Corleone family. Name this, Anant.
The Godfather.
Who directed The Godfather in its 2 sequels?
Coppola.
Coppola.
Coppola?
Coppola, right. Which author of Omerta wrote the novel The Godfather, which served as the basis for the movie?
Puzo.
Puzo.
Right, Mario Puzo, 50 points. Next toss-up. It is represented as an angle opening to the right. It is used in the Beatles song A Day in the Life and in We Fell in Love in a Hopeless Place. What Italian music term means... Evan.
Crescendo.
Right. What Italian music term means very loud and is abbreviated FF?
Fortissimo.
Correct. What Italian music term, denoted by either 2 or 3 letters above a note, means a sudden emphasis on a note followed by a sudden decline in volume?
Sforzando.
You got it for 50 points. Stocks plummeted in August 2011 after a financial services company downgraded a certain evaluation from AAA. Name this measurement of confidence that a business... Yes and no.
Credit rating.
Which rating agency, a competitor of Moody's and Fitch, issued the downgrade?
S&P.
Yes, that's right. S&P lowered the U.S. credit rating 1 level to what specific designation?
AA+.
You got 50 points. Architect James Hoban designed this building burned by the British in 1814. Yes, Max.
White House.
Which president was the first to move into the White House shortly before the end of his only term in office?
Adams.
I need more.
John Adams.
Right. Which president began using the term White House in official correspondence?
Fillmore.
Teddy Roosevelt. But you have 480 points to 65 going into the 3rd round in just 2 minutes. See you soon.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
It is time for the countdown round. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. The questions are worth 30 points. And the clock will start as soon as I begin reading the first question. Good luck to both teams. Here we go. Among his plays are An Enemy of the People and The Master Builder. His character, Nora Helmer, leaves her husband in a doll's house. Name this... Yes, Evan.
Ibsen.
Right. 14 hydroelectric dams lie on which river? The only one to pass through the Cascades that separates western Washington. Yes, Max.
Columbia.
Right. It includes the songs New Deal for Christmas, Easy Street, and A Hard Knock Life, all sung by Evan.
Oh, Jay-Z.
No, I'm sorry. All sung by the title character, an 11-year-old red-headed orphan during the Great Depression.
Annie.
Right. Mount Catherine is the highest point on which peninsula between the Gulfs of Aqaba and Suez at the north end of the Red Sea? Yes, Max.
Sinai.
Right. The moon Miranda orbits which planet whose axis lies nearly in the ecliptic? Yes, Max.
Uranus.
Right. This group of plants with 8-celled male gametophytes has seeds that develop in ovaries, unlike gymnosperms. Yes, Anant.
Angiosperms.
Right. This owner of a museum on Ann Street in New York City employed Charles Stratton, a dwarf, as General Tom Thumb before founding his namesake circus. Named his legendary Max.
Barnum.
Right. What singer with the album Doo-Wops and Hooligans was featured on Yes, Clarissa.
Bruno Mars.
Right. Although most pollination is done by bees in North America, what tiny birds with long beaks also seek out yes and on?
Hummingbirds.
Right. This author of Obedience to Authority was inspired by Adolf Eichmann to test whether subjects would electrically shock other people if told yes, Max.
Milligan.
No, I'm sorry. Would electrically shock other people if told to do so. Name this Yale professor of social psychology. Milgram. The diameter of a hydrogen atom is roughly equal to what unit of length? Name yes, none.
Angstrom.
Right. Unlike most days of the week, this day comes from the name of the Norse goddess of love. Yes, Emil.
Thursday.
No. What day of the week is this called Black on the day the stock market crashed in 1929?
Friday.
Right. Carl Sandburg's book-length poem, The People, yes, described a certain city as stacker of wheat and hog butcher for the world. What city has dominated Midwestern? Yes, Evan.
Chicago.
Right. During the Great Red Scare of the 1920s, this pair of anarchists were accused of a robbery turned a nonce.
Sacco and Vanzetti.
Right. Other than Octans, the southernmost constellation is which one named for South Africa's Table Mountain that shares its name with a high IQ society? Max.
Mensa.
Got it. What Staryets from the Tobolsk region whose claim to cure the hemophilia of the Tsarevich Alexei was a Siberian? Yes, Emil.
Rasputin.
Right. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are the main culprits of what atmospheric phenomenon that can damage ecosystems by virtue of its low? Yes, Anand.
Acid rain.
Right. After fighting in the Farroupilha War in Brazil in 1835, which man returned to lead the Red Shirts to help unify Italy? Evan.
Garibaldi.
Got it. Kluane National Park and Mount Logan are both located in what territory whose capital, Whitehorse, lies near the site? Yes, Max?
You got it.
You got it. 900 points. Great job, Harker. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Promotional consideration furnished by the Burlingame Scottish Rite, the Knights Templar, Model Compilers, the Bay Area Academic League. Some questions of Quiz Kids are provided by National Academic Quiz Tournaments.